Okay, today we're talking about a technology that sounds like something out of science fiction. It's so powerful it can strip paint, scour massive pipelines, and yeah, even slice right through solid steel. And it does it all with nothing but plain old water. So let's dive right into the incredible world of high-pressure jetting.
But to really get it, let's start with a simple question. How do you clean something you just can't reach? I mean, seriously, think about it. Imagine a place that's totally sealed off, maybe even miles long, and completely impossible to get inside.
We're talking about something like the inside of a massive industrial pipeline. And it's not just a little dirty in there. It's completely caked with deposits that have built up for years. Stuff that's literally harder than rock. This gunk is choking off the flow of the very energy that keeps our world running.
So you'd think the solution would be, I don't know, a bigger drill or some kind of crazy harsh chemical, right? Nope. The real solution is something way more fundamental, but it's been harnessed into one of the most powerful, and you'll be surprised, precise tools on the entire planet.
All right, to really appreciate just how cool this solution is, you got to understand the scale of what we're up against. Let's call it the industrial gunk problem. This is the kind of buildup that can absolutely cripple the critical, hidden equipment that we all rely on every single day. And just look at the kind of equipment we're talking about here. This is not the pipe under your kitchen sink, believe me. We're talking massive heat exchangers, giant process vessels and reactors, sprawling pipelines that stretch for miles. These are literally the arteries of our industrial world, and when they get clogged up, everything, and I mean everything, starts to grind to a halt.
So what exactly is this stuff causing all the trouble? Well, it's a pretty nasty list of culprits. You've got hardscale, which is basically rock forming inside a pipe. You've got thick layers of corrosion and rust. And then there's wax and paraffin that, as crude oil cools, congeals just like cholesterol in an artery. This is seriously tough stuff you can't just, wipe away. So how in the world do you fight back against that? Well, this is where it gets really fascinating. The answer is water. Yeah, just water. But hold on, we're not talking about the water coming out of your faucet. We're talking about water that's been transformed into an unbelievable force of nature, a legitimate power tool.
Okay, so the official name for this is high-pressure jetting, sometimes called hydrojetting, and it's pretty much what it sounds like. You use these incredibly high-pressure streams of water to just obliterate those stubborn deposits we were just looking at. The goal? To get that equipment running at peak performance again, all without using a single drop of harsh chemicals.
But here's the thing, not all jetting is created equal. The power level is always tailored exactly to the job. You've got your high pressure range up to about 10,000 psi, which is great for lighter stuff. Then you step it up to very high pressure for the tougher jobs, and then you get to the top tier, ultra high pressure.
Get this, 40,000 psi. To put that in perspective, that is more than 20 times the pressure of a high-power fire hose. We're at a level of force now that doesn't just clean something, it absolutely pulverizes it. It is just an immense, unbelievable amount of focused energy.
So obviously, you can't just grab a regular hose and expect to generate that kind of power. No way. To wield 40,000 psi, you need a whole high-tech toolkit of specialized and a lot of times robotic gear that's all about precision and, most importantly, safety.
Take those super long, winding pipelines, for instance. For those, operators use a tool called a flexible line mole. The best way to picture it is like a robotic jetting snake. It literally snakes its way deep inside the pipe, blasting debris as it goes, and it can handle bends and corners that would be totally impossible to clean any other way. And what about cleaning the inside of a massive storage tank? For that, they've got 3D nozzles. These are incredible robotic heads that get lowered down into the tank, and then they just run a pre-programmed 360-degree cleaning pattern. It makes sure every single square inch gets scoured. And the best part is, no person ever has to set foot inside that dangerous space.
And this really points to a bigger trend in the industry, automation. Fully robotic jetting systems are quickly becoming the standard, especially for tricky jobs like cleaning heat exchangers. The operator can control the entire thing from a safe distance, which, as you can imagine, is a massive win for both safety and for how fast the job gets done.
Okay, but this might be the most mind-blowing part of all. When you get up to those ultra-high pressures, if you mix in a tiny abrasive particle, like a special kind of sand, into that water jet, it stops being a cleaning tool and becomes a cutting tool. They call it UHP cold cutting, and it can slice through 100 millimeters of solid steel.
But get this, it does it without creating a single spark or any heat. Just think about how valuable that is in a potentially explosive environment. It's a total game changer.
So as you can probably guess by now, an operation with this much power on the line is not something you just jump into. It's a really methodical, high-stakes procedure where every single step has to be planned and executed perfectly. And you can see that right here in the process. It's this whole meticulous 6-step plan. You've got everything from the initial assessment and planning phase all the way through to the final inspection and cleanup. Every single part of this is rigorously controlled. Absolutely nothing is left to chance.
Which brings us to what is, without a doubt, the most critical part of this whole thing: handling the extreme danger. I mean, let's be real. A tool that can cut through steel can cause a catastrophic injury in the blink of an eye.
The point that cannot be stressed enough is the sheer amount of stored energy we're dealing with. A tiny failure anywhere in the system, a hose bursting, a fitting letting go, an accidental spray, can be absolutely lethal. So safety isn't just, a priority. It is the entire foundation that the whole operation is built on.
So to manage that insane risk, operators are decked out in some serious PPE. We're talking jetting suits reinforced with Kevlar, full face shields, special safety boots. Even the jetting guns themselves have dual safety triggers. But you know what the ultimate safety measure is? Using those robotic systems we talked about to get humans out of the line of fire altogether.
Okay, so we've seen how powerful, complex, and frankly dangerous this all is. So why does it matter so much? Well, because the impact of this seemingly invisible process is absolutely enormous.
Think about it. Unlike old-school methods like grinding, it creates zero sparks, which is crucial in explosive areas. It uses no nasty chemicals, making it way more environmentally friendly. It doesn't wear down the equipment, so these expensive assets last a whole lot longer. And maybe the biggest benefit of all? It restores equipment back to near-perfect performance, which saves a ton of energy and boosts productivity for everyone.
So when you step back, high-pressure jetting is just a perfect example of one of those incredible hidden technologies, right? It's this invisible force working completely behind the scenes, just